Like this. Okay. Okay. The position like this. Slightly.
Morning,
Morning.
Chris, have you changed to Chris now or Christian? Have you changed to Chris now or Christian? Well, that's how I know. How they keep calling you Chris in your office, I don't know. Take it. You okay? And then thanks for joining us wherever you are watching from or whatever platform you are watching us on. My name is Benga. I would like to welcome you to the August edition of our Ministerial Chat series featuring the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency Yusuf Ezenwo-Wike. The Honorable Minister is already here with us, and we'd like to formally welcome him. Honorable Minister, good to see you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning.
Right. With your permission, let me introduce my colleagues who are also here with me. To my immediate right is Felicity Ezenwo-Wike. Felicity is news editor, newscaster, News Central. Felicity, welcome back. Good to see you too. Femi Akonde is Deputy Abuja Bureau Chief, TVC News, is joining us on the panel today. Good to see you. And on the other side of the aisle, a face we know too well, Kayla Begua. Kayla is senior producer, presenter with Channels News. She's actually the producer and presenter of Abuja, Dateline Abuja. Kayla, good to see you.
Good to see you. Good morning, Honorable Minister.
And of course, sitting next to Kayla is my very good friend. Some of his friends call him Chris, but I call him Christian, because that's how I knew him over 3 decades ago. Christian Ogodo is managing editor at Arise News. Christian, good to see you.
Thank you very much.
And of course, sitting next is Dr. Adeboboye. Dr. is weekend editor, The Sun newspaper. Good to see you, Dr.
Your Excellency.
All right, so Honorable Minister, the last time we were here, July was drawn to an end, but then you are still in the spirit of commissioning of projects. And one project that was outstanding then was the Abuja City Gates. It was a show to behold. And the first lady particularly singled you out for commendation and praises. Yesterday we heard you say that you were going to add to that, also because it was also at the prompting of what the first lady said at that commission. But wrap it up, how do you feel that special occasion and the commendations outpouring of comments on you by the first lady?
Well, it's like saying that you went to school and you came out with flying colors and your mom said thumbs up. So I'm very happy with you, and obviously you'll be elated. That also motivates you to work harder, not to relent on the achievement you have made. First Lady's commendation was a motivation to all of us as far as FCT is concerned. Like you said, that city gate was icing the cake. It was something that we took very, very interesting. Remember, like I said before, it was not our initiative. It was the initiative from the First Lady. And come to think about it, nobody gave a thought. How do you know this is just a city gate? It never occurred to us that, look, if you're entering a city, there should be some kind of sign, not just what you call a signpost, something that will attract you to know that indeed I'm going to a city. Indeed, this is what you expect to see in that city. So it was later that when that assignment was done, that we appreciated it, that look, this was something that we should commend. So when she invited us yesterday to give us that commendation, we thought that we should be the ones that would honor her for initiating that process. But by and large, when she said that, I realized that after that commissioning, if you pass there in the night, you will see the number of Nigerians. We have film shooters there now. We have people who go and take pictures, lovers, would-be lovers, all kinds of. But you see, it's so that Nigerians don't demand much. These are things that could take people out from their houses and go and relax and unwind and think about other things, you know. So yesterday when we left here, it occurred to me that as we were coming to my official residence, There's this roundabout there, which so beautiful. I found that it was supposed to be a recreation center that had been abandoned for years. So yesterday I got there, it was amazing. Amazing to the point that it has where you can play sporting activities, all kinds of things. But look at the natural rocks there. And I said, okay, look, what we are going to do, we know that it was the when I constructed that. But let's see whether we can have 3 designs by inviting 3 major companies to give us different designs, then we'll be able to choose one. If we're able to achieve that, that takes care of those who are living within the life camp by putting those sporting activities there too, and even put the restaurant there, and you will see that it gives the city a different look. That's what it's supposed to be. You go to a city, you don't see it attractive. You just, in fact, where is this park? The Millennium Park is empty. Totally empty. There's nothing that is attractive. I was there one time. I said, what kind of park is this? Just people just come like that, carry that phone, put here, just. So it's these are details that make people not to stay in their cities. So we feel that she has challenged us, and that challenge is worthy of it. So we're happy, but that has now spurred us to work more.
Is that to say that the Millennium Park is going to get some attention from
you? Not so that you don't commit me.
The already wrote it down, that is there's nothing attractive there.
But again, you ask me, what time do I have? I don't want to do something that you will abandon.
Okay. I
think I can finish the one of the last camp.
Okay.
Because the terror ends in May 2029. So I prefer to do something that I know I can finish and go, and not something that you just start and nobody will give attention to it. So, but that was last camp, I'm quite sure we are going to finish it before the terror ends.
I want to tell the residents of the Federal Capital Territory about the Jabi Lake, where thousands of residents used to go walk out and have their picnics and the rest. It's been sealed. What are the plans really?
Just the same thing we're doing, and like I've said, you are aware that's what people took us to court. It's not just necessarily going out for a walkout. What's attractive there? You must make something look attractive. So what we do was that place was given out in 2026, 15 years ago, to people who had said that they want to turn it to recreation center. And one day I had to pass through that place and say, look, shanties are coming up, people are selling food. So that is the kind of work I said, no, this is not what we mean by recreation center. So I looked at the document and said, what happened? How could this be given for the past 15 years and nothing has happened? So I had to revoke it. Now when I did revoke it, all kinds of calls came. Oh, look, they wanted to do this, they didn't want to do that. I said, listen, we can't continue this way. Which part of the world will have this kind of a place? I will abandon it that way. This is an attack. This is where you can build up things and people like to be coming to that place. Of course, argument came and this was okay. What we're going to do now, we're going to enter the new memorandum of understanding that you will immediately start the construction of this so that as football, the sporting activities, the restaurants, even where they also agreed to use the water, put a restaurant in the water, lighting, and so we said, look, within this period, if we don't finish this, we'll take back our land. Of course, in this country, propaganda and it's all fake news I think part of the problem we have with social media. The next thing you have, somebody has got cycle on television. Oh, this is where I have been praying to God. This is where this has happened. Now minister has come, has taken the land, has grabbed the land. All kinds of things. Of course, for somebody like me, I don't even care. I will even list. Because if we continue this way, we can't get development. You know all kinds of them. And one of these so-called, you call them activists, what do you call them? When they go collect money for people, then they come out to say they're activists. You what you call it? Is it show or what? They say show or they say the presidential candidate. So, and I came like, oh, they should tell UK to get out from this place and that. Nobody can intimidate me, nobody can blackmail me. That place will be developed for the interest of the public. And how can you, these guys are talking about the place? Some people selling Mama Mapuch. Is that the kind of education center that we want to have? So that's why we are. But like I said, government will not be able to do all these things. So we need to engage private partners. That's what we're doing there in Jabileki.
I'll begin to ask you a national question, but you've been so busy the last month, and it's fair to say congratulations again, sir. You had a real marathon of commissioning, and celebrations for the work you've done. In that fate, I want to ask, of all the projects that you commissioned, that was commissioned, which of them is something you hold dearest? And if you could tell us why.
I think Benga has also had one. And then the next one was so important to have to do with the water that was provided through the satellite town. The essence of water, the importance of water. And so for me, these are two key projects that I take to heart, that particularly look at, for example, the water, you get to the poor people, they have access to water. The Tourist Center, you see where youths will gather online. So you see, these are the things that touch society that you will not look, I am happy. If you see the comments of the youth when they get to that city gate, it's something they have been yearning for. These are the kind of things that we will want to. Every time we watch television, we watch social media, we see what's happening all over the world. So this thing can be put in their place. It's not a rocket science. It's something that we are committed to do. We will do it, and we have done it. So the happiness of the youth for me is key. It's key, and that the poor people can access water in the rural areas is key. What is important, yes, but these are the two key projects I think that I'm very happy. Okay. I'm very happy. Yes.
Further, we ask the next question, but quickly on the issue of water. I don't know whether it's come to your attention that there is scarcity of water in Africa. Residents of areas like we say, I think Turkey.
I think what has happened that there are news for repair with the Usman dam, yes, which don't take maybe 1 week that will sort it out.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So, but maybe I should say still on the commissionings you have done in the past, the projects, infrastructure development in the FCT, and the commendation we also got from the First Lady. I clearly didn't expect this kind of public embrace, especially for the city gate remodeling, and it's good to know that you're planning another one in Jabi. But my question will be on a lifetime. So my question will be a bit light now. Should residents of Abuja expect to see you, on an evening stroll or coming to some of these parks to relax?
Remember, I do, but I'm not telling you. Let me tell you the danger of another area. The day I went to one of the restaurants to eat, I didn't go with security. But so I told my driver, "Don't drive us, let me go and eat." I just entered the restaurant. Before I know it, over 50 people. I didn't know what to do again. This person will call, will shake you, will call, will shake you. Of course, it is not safe. don't take that to be, oh, people like you. So, I told the restaurant, look, I will come back. At that point, I was no longer comfortable. When I came out, I saw some miscreants waiting for me to give them money. So these are the kind of things you have to be very, very careful. I went to the city gate and the other day, sat down, few people were there. Before I do it, people started trooping. I said, hey, let's take off. It's not as if you're not happy to be there, but you also, I see, don't go to the gallery, be very, very careful. And don't go to play with that kind of security. Yeah. Because the whole aim will be defeated. So I can assure you, yes, from time to time, I walk in, but I won't tell you it will be so day or it will be so time. No, I will not do that one. So that one will be safe too. Not so that there will be people who will come and shoot you, but people can rush. Just people want to take pictures with you, all kinds of things. So you have to be very, very careful. Happiness should not make you to lose their
Maybe you can give the services of a customer to disguise when you are going to such places.
Nigeria can disguise. I'm Japan, but I think I go to the people will not call my name.
So it's impossible. Honourable Minister, so let's I can see that the infrastructure at the Apo Mechanic Village has been put in there. So the question really is, where is their final relocation going to be, and when is that going to happen?
Yes, that's what we are working on. It's not easy. When you have divisions, associations, where are the days, where that, and again, the recommendation made by the committee is not very, I'm not very comfortable with it. But if we begin to give this your phone, it means it becomes your property, and government will not have control. So that way they are saying, oh, give us a CFO and this. We have said, look, it's not for us to have a memorandum of understanding that government has given us this place for you to trade and this, so that government will also have some sort of control over it. But we believe that before the end of the year, we would have sorted out the whole of the issues. Already the infrastructure has been provided, so that's why we are.
Christian, you already have your talk.
I just wanted to do a follow-up so that we don't go back and forth.
It's okay.
You talked about the beautification of the FCT, which is very good, commendable. How about the abandoned Millennium Tower? Have you thought of it?
Very much.
That is just one, sir. Okay. The second one is that with the massive road infrastructures that we build, I don't know if you've recalled October 1st, 2006, one of the ministers then, El Rufai, banned the use of motorcycles called Okada in the city. Yeah. We have even acknowledged that they've constituted a nuisance, security challenges. Keke Napep have joined too. On the streets, major streets of Abuja, it has become a car park lounge or a car lounge and the rest. What are you doing to checkmate the nuisance that they've constituted?
Let me tell you the Millennium Park first. I came on board. I visited that Millennium Park. Very wonderful place. We started on that parking that took about 2,000 cars. The restaurant is on the last floor, up to about 300 floors. Beautiful. That project was awarded under the Obasanjo's administration to a company called Salini, Italian company.
Salini.
I tried to sit down with them because it's a national budget. It cannot be FCT statutory budget. The cost is about 400 billion. And I even if I have such money, I can't put the whole of that money on one of the projects. So it was the project that the federal government has to come out and say, look, have to take this project as a national
Monument.
If not, there's nothing FCT can do. And moreover, if you don't complete it within the matter of forest, you don't have to always go by variations will come in because of the inflation.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if they spend more than 4 or something million, all the FCT get that kind of money. And so if people that men like under passenger, it's really the kind of problem we're having. Government, we don't plan. We just come up, it's good to have a medium, fine. But what is their plan? You can imagine, I think around either 2004, 2005, 23 years, one project, national project, can then be completed. It's the same thing here in terms of roads. We are projecting now 2010. 16 good years. We are talking about this Apoka and Shina that we are trying to commission. 2010. So it is a problem for us in government. You see, awarding contract is easy. But cash backing it is another thing. And that's why we are. So I'm not what I said. No matter how attractive it may look, I'm not tempted to award contract for the sake of awarding the contract. I will award a contract, but I know it can be cash backed. So it doesn't matter how many contracts I have awarded. What people look at is how many have you finished? Because at the end of the day, when you award all these contracts, it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem. People begin to, look at how they scatter the whole place. You start in that way, and one contract that will not be completed. It becomes an eyesore. And then directions will of course come. So people are supposed to come like 10 billion, at the end of the day, we end up spending 170 billion. It does not make sense. So these are the issues we're having. You talk about the taking up and this. As if you know, just this morning, I signed the approval. We had a security council meeting. And where we have agreed, not just causing a nuisance, but for issue of security, it can become a threat from our security threats. Bandits and they don't occupy using motorcycles.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the problem. And so after the security to map out areas where we do not need the Keke Napep and the motorcycle. But it is difficult for you to ban them in the entire Abuja. Particularly, it is necessary within the city not to allow Keke Napep and the Okada. So they are working that out. The rest of the approval is going to release some logistics. Even the destitute beggars all over the places. And each time we take them out, they come in again. Each time we take them out, they come in again. And then we say, why not provide what they will be staying in freedom? How will you continue to be doing that? If this, you are encouraging people to leave from Kogi, you are encouraging them to leave from Nassau, you are encouraging them to leave from Niger, you are encouraging them to leave from Kaduna. How can you fund that? It is not possible. So, we try to turn them back to where they are coming from. In the next 1 month, you see them coming back. I know Abuja is the center, bounded by 4 states. So it's a big problem, but we do the best we can.
All right.
Quickly.
Thank you, Minister. In the last media chat of July, you spoke about the original designers of the Abuja Master Plan coming around in July, that we're going to hold talks with them. Did those talks, did they hold? And if yes, what are the changes that Abuja residents would expect in the future?
I was to do that delegation. Fortunately, I didn't go down. It was led by the very senior secretary of CD. They just came back. They just came back from Tokyo. And they have not made their report. But be assured, yes, the discussion has been held between us and Tokyo. And they just came, today is Tuesday. came back on Friday last week. So I believe that before the end of the week, they will have submitted their report.
All right, Honorable Rosa, we would like to spice things up a little bit by taking some topical issues. When we say topical issues, they are largely political. We'll come back to FCT issues because even right now, viewers are interacting with us, particularly residents of Abuja. We have questions for you on certain things, so we'll come back to that. But let's spice things up a little bit with politics. Felicity, we would like to start.
You probably have seen this interview, courtesy of Arise, the interview with Cardinal Onaikon.
Okay.
His comments and the reaction from the presidential team. He talked about the economy and how things are not as the president feels it is, and then there's been a response. I'd like your thoughts on that. I'm sure a lot of Nigerians want to know that. And I also would like you to talk on the statement that he referenced, that the president said in politics all is fair, made by the president, and like I said, it shouldn't always be like that. So your reaction.
So that all is fair. I don't understand what you mean.
The president is all politics, all is fair.
We're not going to pamper anybody.
For it to say all is fair, there must be a statement made.
You're saying this government seems to want to win the election. That's the context.
You see, I have always said this, particularly to religious leaders and our elder statesmen. I'm not against comments about government. Because if comments are not made about government, government will not be able to know areas where they should concentrate or focus. Therefore, government is available to receive comments. But when comments made by particular section consistently, government becomes, or not even government, even individuals, become very careful. If you're a religious leader and it is perceived or seen, you are taking a side which is very clear. It becomes difficult for people to begin to see those comments as being helpful or real. I'm aware of the position of Cardinal Onaikon. All of us know it's not hidden.
His position, how?
Who you support? Everybody knows that.
I don't know what to support.
That's what I'm saying. It's not every time you say things are bad. Nobody has heard you say one day, government have done this well. I cannot, the point I'm trying to make is that as a leader, commend government when government have done well on some areas. Criticize government. Now look, yes, you have done this well, but if you return the to these other areas. But if their comments are anything and nothing positive, the government will worry about you. Whether you begin to think that you are merely criticizing because you are opposed to the government.
No, but these are,
You see that statement that we made?
those are not partisan.
Don't tell me, no, please, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. You know what happened to the election? People took side, we just took side. It was very open.
Honorable Minister,
I will still need to sit here for anybody to tell me this person is impartial. No, we know ourselves in this country. We know who belongs to where.
But what's their stake, sir? Because somebody will be curious to know, if you say they are partisan, what do they...
Who knows about the three? It was very obvious. They made it clear.
the Honorable Minister,
I'm not wrong in that. But what I'm telling you, you cannot be seen consistently in holding just one view about the government.
Let me create
All the point I'm trying to make.
Let me make some context as to why this became an issue, because not just Cardinal American that was upset, a lot of people were upset about that statement. And the reason they were upset was because the statement, all is fair in politics, connotes the fact that anything can happen. So that's what the president that's what the president got criticized for that.
You see, first of all, people have accused the government of trying to intimidate, of trying to weaken the opposition. People have accused the ruling party of trying to see that the opposition does not exist. Right? I think my thinking, if we are in politics, all is my thinking. Now, what I'm meaning by that? In politics, it is not my duty to strengthen my opponent.
Okay.
In politics, I want to preside over, we are struggling for power. And I see that my opponent has some weaknesses and loopholes. It's not for me to go and help them to be strong. If I really need to make them weaker, yes. Now, take for example, you see what happened to PDP. PDP ought to be the formidable opposition party. Right? Now, because of selfish interests, and people don't understand that we need to share their personal interests and work for the party to be strong enough to be able to challenge the ruling party. Now, the party had crisis. And that crisis has weakened the party. Going to court today, tomorrow, and the rest. Now, some people are going to ADC. And in going to ADC, they refuse to put, what are the things that will take, that will make our party to have crisis? So I'm ready to stop it now. But when the Labour Party finds out that you have that kind of loopholes, look at their prayer. Their prayer will be, may you not resolve the crisis. May you not resolve the crisis. Take for example, in 2017, PDP had a problem. We saw that the ruling party APC then had wanted to destroy PDP by impeaching a party chairman on us. We saw it clearly. People across came out to say, no, we will not accept this. We are going to fight it. Now, why am I telling you this? We went to the Federal High Court, and we won. The very DGSSS locked the office. We said, look, we have won. I'm not saying anything. He said, no, but there's an appeal. This is a security agency. There is an appeal. He said, what does that concern you? The appeal means that we need the house. He said, no, there is an appeal. Now, there are people won an appeal. We now appeal to Supreme Court. They want to open the office. When I say that we were an appeal, they say, oh, it doesn't matter. Now, you know the interest of the ruling party in government, that their interest is to weaken us. If their interest to weaken the national chairman, they will make the party not to go forward. So, what I'm trying to say is for you to really understand this, you don't put yourself together. Now we fought the matter to remain the Supreme Court. Now, nobody left the party. That's what I'm trying to make. The party was strong. And that was why people, like Atiku Abubakar them, had to come to the party, knowing that the party was now strong, to be able to challenge the ruling party. That was why he was able to contest in 2019 and contest under the party 2023. That really made some kind of very way. Now,
if we did not do that, to make the party to destroy them, it was difficult for us to challenge the new party. Remember 2023? Nobody, it was difficult to believe that the present president would have won. You know that? Why? There was no formidable opposition party. So there was. But now, everything appears to have fallen apart.
Yeah. And the Catholic bishops were specific in some areas.
Yes.
For instance, they accused INEC of being biased. And then the president said, no, INEC is not biased. Okay. They didn't think the president put himself on the spot, but defending INEC. No,
Okay, yes. Okay, he also raised a particular concern that, he believes that the people around the president do not give him a true picture of the reality of the country. And you are also one of those politicians close to the president. Is it true that people like you who are close to the president don't look at the president? True situation of things.
That's very to the truth. That is not a first-hand statement. When you're not in power, you are treated around in power, not to tell you the power that you are not taking. We must be very, very careful. Now, when you come to the public and make that kind of accusation that the electoral umpire is biased, you must have your facts. This is why you say they are biased. Look at this. Look at this. If you don't come to the general, I make it biased. You are sending a signal to the public. The people say, for the whole Catholic bishops to say I make it biased. Then something is wrong. And we must be very careful about it. And now like, no, you can't say they are biased. So what is wrong? Is it the people say, okay, if I say Ahmed is not biased, it's good. If they say Ahmed is not biased, that's a mistake because the president. He has no view again. He doesn't have a view. To tell you why we should be careful in politics. That's why we are saying that associations like that, bodies like that, have to be very, very careful. When that survey was made, what happened? People like Atiku Abubakar picked it up. So, you cannot say this about a Catholic. The point I'm making is that having made that statement, it will appear you have now done the work for the opposition party. And that's what people like Atiku came up to say you cannot talk to them that these are things you have to be very careful. And nobody sitting. If you come to me now as a minister, right, and you make that kind of general assertion, for Christ's sake, I have to say yes or no. Because you don't come to tell me Joseph is biased. What are the facts? I have told people here, let me tell you, I have told people here to be very careful. To be very careful. Take, for example, what's going on. Most of you don't know the matters in court. We don't know. We are not lawyers to each other side. We don't know what has been presented. We want a party loses. The party has propaganda without telling the public the truth of the matter, what the matter is or was, as the case may be. Then we have the impression, the judiciary have been used. And we must try to be very, very careful about that.
So,
we have to be careful about
From
it.
the presidential
Honorable
meeting.
Minister,
Yes.
like one of the founding fathers
Yes.
of the party, you are now the overall leader, you know, a numero, I would say.
Yes.
Chief Bode George
Yes.
has times without number
Yes.
accused
Yes.
Nyesom Wike
Yes.
of using the judiciary.
Yes,
that you even hosted the chief judge
Yes.
of the Federal High Court.
Yes.
And
And when he was asking that they don't have this, they don't have that. When he was asking that they don't have housing, they don't have this, they don't have
And the question is it the duties? First, you're going to respond to Chief Bode George calling the CDP.
You have already said it.
Yeah.
I watched it on our eyes.
Yes.
Okay, let me.
I just want to add one more leg to it. And is it in the position of the FCT to provide accommodation for federal judges?
Okay. I'm coming. Now, let me just start with the other one.
Very well.
You said the Red Judge is one of the founding fathers. He founded something he could not maintain in Lagos. A founding father of PDP since 1999. Since 1999, founding father. He answered that founding father. We are the conscience of the party. What conscience does he have between 1999 till now? PDP has never won one seat in anything. You also founding father using the structure of other people in other states. A founding father since 1999 till today cannot show in my own state. I brought this party to my own state. What is the result? What is the progress we have made in this state? Nothing. We are founding father. You didn't answer founding father by not. No progress. Now, anytime I'm talking about judiciary, with all due respect, that's what I'm saying. That's why I say elders should be careful. The way you make statement. Because in our tradition, we don't talk to elders in here. But in politics, there's nothing like that. So we are talking about snatching for power. So everything you say, no, what I'm trying to say is that in our tradition, there are things when an elder speaks, you don't I will reply. In politics, because it's talking for power, I won't just allow you to say anything you want to say simply because you are an elder. You get it back. Because I don't want you to preside over it. Now, I'm not talking about the they are forgotten. These are our two judiciary. When Benin was charged for corruption in Lagos State High Court, the day of the judgment, Benin showed the uniform for his people. They were dancing. How would you have gone to show uniform if you didn't know the outcome of the judgment? I'm coming. Now, on February for him, the guy and he was convicted. Now, let me tell you what that shows. And this is the question. If that judgment has gone to favor to him, he would have said the judge was paid. Because probably, through one contact or the other, may have told him, look, everything has been saved. Money has been given. So that was why they went and sold uniform. Babariga, white, this. I've never seen such a thing. So when he was not convicted, he don't know him. The judge never collected any bribe. That is the kind of, why I'm trying to say this. This is how we do our things every time. Judges corruption. If that judge and that judgment has gone his way, he will have gone with the impression that the money he gave to somebody to give to the judge, that the judge collected the money. Now, it is unfair for him to know that the Chief Judge of Federal High Court came to see me and was demanding. It is very, very unfair. If the judge could produce the video of that visit, where the judge, where the chief judge was requesting for accommodation, was requesting for vehicles. It's very unfortunate that I say that certain position you occupy, you don't need to make certain statements that you cannot defend. And because at that level, what would you say that people will take? This is the same man who said, it depends on when you go on exile. Up to today, there's no one on exile. You see, look at the state, look at your level. If you win, I will go on exile. Maybe should take you by our words. Up till now, there's no one on exile. Now, you say, if it is our duty, let me tell you, all public buildings in FCT are built by the FCDA. All public buildings. FCT is not a state. All public buildings are built by FCDA. Now, if the president, in his wisdom, said to FCT, look, I've heard about shelter of accommodation. We have to intervene. Not the one coming from the NJC. Do you understand? Not the one coming from the NJC. We have to intervene by providing accommodation and the rest of it. What has that got to do with us? What has that got to do? In any case, as a governor of a state, I build houses and get those CFO to take those houses as their own houses. Right?
What federal and state judges?
Yes, in Port Harcourt, I built for Kromapi, I built for Industrial Court, I built for Federal High Court.
Yeah, the argument is that blurs the line that should ordinarily be there between the three arms of government to maintain their independence.
That is not correct. You see, that is the problem. Now, I see me, for example, if you say so, and there's a problem about contracts, execution. Who will preside over it? But that's not even the point. What has that to do with intervention? But the point I'm making, having done that,
See you as your benefactor.
no,
I may not make them fair.
well, let me tell you now, as I left River State, all those crises that came up, is there anyone that again judged in my favor in River State? Not one. What do you have to think that you do something, is it your personal? Look, even that one is personal. This one is not even personal. The one in River State was good and this was good and allocated to Federal High Court, to Court of Appeal.
So it's a public building.
It's a public building.
Let's talk about something that's your favor now. INEC published a list of candidates, and we're seeing the names of some of the candidates aligned with the UK-backed PDP now on the INEC portal. But you know, the Turkey faction, they're still they're not backing down.
I have said
they're not backing down. They are still promoting their potential candidates.
I have said before, part of our problem is you. Let me tell you,
Why is the media always a good boy?
let me tell you, you see, you work according to the rule of law. You don't work on basis of what I say, what I think. It's not about what I think. What as it is now, what does the law allow? You know, this matter has gone to court, has gone to Supreme Court. Right? And then let's look. From Federal High Court to Court of Appeal to Supreme Court, this is the judgment. Therefore, we are bound by this. The another convention you did in Ibadan was nullified down to Supreme Court. Now, you went to the Federal High Court in Ibadan again to say that the Federal High Court should accept your own people as the true officers of the party. You went to Federal High Court in Ibadan. Federal High Court said, no, we cannot do that. The convention you had been set aside, is nullified. You cannot. I hold that these people who are the capital committee should be present before the convention is held. convention was held in Abuja here. Officers were elected. INEC was there. At the end of it, you again went to a court of appeal. Appeal against that same judgment, you went to Federal High Court. He lost again. Now, you came back to say, oh, the court said there was no officers of the party. Therefore, you as conscience of the party, we have set up Capital Committee. Who is the Capital Committee set up? The same people who went to court that they should be the officers of the party. He said this to like, and I said, we are not party to that. This is what no, the court has said. You went to court recently. I'm not very happy. You went. Say, look, compare INEC now to take our people. Because, look, that's an end to litigation. Enough is enough. It cannot be putting us. Look at this Supreme Court has done this. What do you want? Therefore, you pay fine. You pay fine. You pay fine. Your lawyer will fight his mother. They also have to pay fine. Today, there's a deterrent. You cannot be coming to court every time because there's court. There must be end to it. Now, I have said for long ago that I will be vindicated. It's a matter of being patient. And today, it's a good man now. All my friends today are the court.
My use of the word faction.
Yes, every time I watch news, in fact, sometimes I don't watch the news again.
But they are still members of the PDP.
No, first of all, they are not. First of all, you said they are the respect, but that's not the issue. The issue is, why is it a UK-backed?
Wiki-backed faction.
Why is it that when you heard the Supreme Court have made a pronouncement, the court has made it UK-backed? You know, the one causing the confusion.
Well,
As it is today.
That factual. You are with these people.
No,
You are a member of the PDP.
no.
You are the national
The point
leader of
I'm
the
saying
party.
is, the point I'm saying, when you say backed, it means that you are not recognizing everyone. That's what you're saying.
Who is the leader of the PDP?
Oh, I'm the national leader.
That is it.
But when you don't say backed, what do you say? No. When you say backed, you are saying that there's another one that's backed by the other person. That is not backed by you. That's so it is not telling that we have only one insurance. And other people is never Abraham. I want to tell you something about
The publication of
where this man from Lagos.
Oh God. We have gone past this.
I have said people should be careful. When you talk about corruption, ask him. The house is living my time. It's not even said money.
Really?
Oh, yes.
You can prove that?
Oh, that's income.
the outcome from Lagos to Rivers.
You see, that's what I said. You don't sit one place, start throwing, something that's not correct. Each time you lose a case, you call judiciary, corruption. Meanwhile, people like you are the fathers of corruption. People like you, each time you talk about a matter going to court, judiciary always corrupt. This judiciary is corrupt. Until when you win. But only when judiciary is not corrupt. But the moment you win,
So you need to explain the use of the video that you have.
I have told you, I made a statement. Let him come out to say, let him come and prove it.
No, let's be clear now, so that they don't understand what you mean.
Was the house released or give it to you?
Listen, I have said so. Whatever you want, he has had it. Okay, I said so. You know, when you say corruption.
But the judiciary itself, and as somebody who knows the law yourself, the judiciary, have they held the candle in terms of standing up for themselves? Because they keep giving judgments that sometimes seems conflicting.
Oh, so that is again, we are all human. First of all, you see, we talk as if when a doctor is treating people, doctors make a mistake. But the fact that they are conflicting judgment does not mean they collected money. Remember, I can tell you, okay, let me tell you what happened. package of land that was set aside by the Federal High Court. And then the Court of Appeal said no, INEC was right. Now there was so many litigation about that guideline. Now, the Zenith Party also went to court, and the matter was the Court of Appeal. So if you don't read well, you say there's conflict of judgment. So, but judgment of Zenith Bank, if you don't as if it says no, INEC was wrong. Rather, what that judgment say was part of this review. INEC was wrong, but this area of where you provide all the particulars that it conflicts with the person's right. Do you understand it? Now, that does not to me is a conflict of judgment. I know, so sometimes we don't even read all you have seen on the headline, and then we don't go back to see that, read the judgment, or give it to our lawyers, analyze it, and come up. The reason he was talking about, Supreme Court has said, internal affairs of the party. Internal affairs of the party. But we did not know what Supreme Court said in Suleiman Amido's case. And the one of the two chairmen, one from Imo and the other from Abia, Austin. What Supreme Court said, now look, if you violate, if you don't go according to the laws, you're not interested in who becomes your leader. All you're interested is if you're in violation of the Constitution, if you're in violation of the Electoral Act, if you're in violation of the established laws of the country, we cannot shut our eyes and say it's the internal affairs of the party. So anything that happens, you see, you men, like, the president of the military, I agree, this is not military. This is politics. Okay. I think much more than that military.
Okay, sir. We need to go on a quick break to allow the stations to discharge some obligations. We'll go on a quick break for about 2 minutes, and when we come back, we'll just round up quickly on politics, and then come back to FCT issues, because like I said, we're getting a lot of questions from members of the residents of the city on some areas that are affected. So that will be after we come back from this break. Alright, so welcome back from that break. If you're just joining us, it's Ministerial Chat featuring the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency Mr. Ezewuike. Just 1 hour gone by, and we're closing home now. Toko, it's your turn to ask the
Honorable Minister, with your predecessor as your predecessor and your good friend, Rotimi Amaechi, as the vice presidential candidate of ADC.
That's what?
Presidential candidate of the running area. from your state.
This is what?
If formidable
Where do you get the assessment from?
Okay. My question is, how does that make you feel? How is that going to, do you think that might affect the Rainbow Coalition? That's one leg. The other is, you are the national leader of the PDP.
Yes.
You are supporting Mr. President.
Yes.
How do you intend sharing that support?
Okay.
Between President Tinubu and Saudi owner.
Okay.
And then
We didn't try to say.
two questions is still part of the second question.
Yeah.
Wouldn't people see that as a kind of political polygamy?
Okay, I've never heard about political program. Let me start from the first one about the mentioning the that indeed it will be difficult for Tinubu to be president. In all the calculations that he makes, if you are choosing a vice presidential candidate, a running mate, I'm sure the only factor that has made him to choose a mate, I'm sure, may be financial. It is in terms of bringing vote to support him, is not an arrival.
Government minister.
Hold on. I was Minister of State. He was governor. He couldn't put a governor. Yes. I defeated him very well. He has never won elections after 2011 when I was the DG of the campaign. Never. He was the DG of Buhari in 2015. Buhari, he was governor. Buhari did not get 25%. He was the DG in 2019 when he was Minister of Super A. Buhari did not get 25%. He supported our in 2023. I think he did not get 15%. Now, let me tell you, where is he an asset? To Rivers State and South South. The north side of a former governor makes you an asset. You must be a former governor, but still have the following, the followers. You must say when you are a minister, what do you bring your table to the people of your state? What do you bring as a minister? Have impacted life of Rivers people. You must say so. So it's not about I was a former this, I was a former that. Now let me tell you, in the South, whose state will you have impact? Remember, and that's why we say the way we are, Nigerians will forget. This was the same man just 1 month ago who said the ADC primary is now a irregularity corruption. How can we talk about removing a government that was saying that rig election and then we are rigging an election? The same man that is benefiting from the corruption, from irregularities of the same system. And we don't talk. And that's one thing, anytime you say, no, you buy in. So that becomes an asset. A man who said this, that this thing is corrupt, that there are irregularities, it didn't go well. The same time now, you have accepted to be part of that irregularity. 2, when Jonathan was president, from the South Side, wanted to run for second term, Ameti came out on national television and said he kicked him out not to be second term. Now, a South Side person wanting to go for second term, you were proud, he kicked him out. Now, South Side will be happy. You need to be vice president. I mean, you see, you think that people have forgotten. You came out to say it, I'm not the one who. Proudly, we kicked him out of the place. Kick their own brother out, not to do second term. They wanted to kick you in to be vice president. What was wrong in the confidential removal of the former CJN, Onagen. You were proud that we had to remove Onagen from the South. What was his offense? This is the time the people of the South will ask you a question. Are you back? Mr. Azizi. Mr. Azizi, you are back. Now, look at Tinubu. If we're not in rivers, but we can today, no longer by sea, by road to go to Bonny. It's not about you come, you touch hand here, you come, you touch hand. He came and said, look, this road has become so political road. The people of rivers. If there's one thing I will do, you will not go by sea again to Bonny. Today, everybody now drives to Bonny. Go and see. He has not extended it again. Never in the history of Rivers State, till 1999, of those who claim to be very close to president, have we had the kind of appointment we have had in Rivers State? Never. Some people are close to Obasanjo. Some people are close to Jonathan. Some people are close to Buhari. Let them come and tell Rivers people, what did you get? So,
Rainbow Coalition.
rainbows.
Let me make excuse me, please. With the Rainbow Coalition, what kind of advantage are you going to?
I'm considering the doctor. I don't know whether you are supporting them. So let me see. The point I'm making is this is the time of Operation Share Report card. It's not last people. See, when I was Minister of Transport, I was close to late Buhari. I was able to use my influence, my friendship with him, to do this for Rivers people. You must tell us. Me, I can say Rivers people, my support for Tinubu, for the first time, we never thought we would be Minister of FCT. We are.
Is it that personal?
No, it's not about Rivers.
Okay.
It's an achievement. Yes, whether you don't like it or not. Two. How many supporters will be? Look at the number of appointments. How many DGs and EDs? Let me tell you. We have DG of NOSNA. We have DG of one environmental something. We have DG of community. We have chairman of the South Central Commission. We have the executive director of project. We have ED Finance Administrator of NBC. Name them. Chairman of government can name them. Name them. And then you now come. You want to be VP. What will VP give to us now? You see, you must have to. When you are governor, what happened to the Caribbean White Hospital? What happened to the Modelo? So many fundamental questions you ask. So don't tell me the God is rivers. What does that mean? Somebody must come from somewhere, but it must be asset to your people. You not talk about the PDP. Because I not in PDP 2023 when I started supporting the did I hide it? See, that's why if people like us, if you pose us, we don't play to the corner. We don't say this is black in the night. In the daytime, it comes.
I thought about not playing to the corner.
No, the point I'm making. No, I said so. Now, the PDP are the crisis. I have always said, PDP can not win presidential election now. All we are doing to win some strong national seats, to organize the party against 2031. It must be very, very clear to people. So I don't like people who think that you just. And that's why you must know.
So how fair is it that you are clearly saying that if you are a candidate of the PDP, you should be content with not winning this.
No, that's not what I'm saying. See, it's not.
Because that's the interpretation that's
You should tell yourself a simple truth. Can I tell you something? Don't be one of those who will not prepare for exam. You enter exam hall. You say, God, I'm your daughter. God, I'm your son. When you do not read, then you expect as you enter exam. That means say, Almighty God, you are the one who brought me here. So I remain safe from me. And then the answer will start coming. You don't do that. You must have to prepare yourself. Being a president is not to come out today and not to run to be a president. No. Do you know what you talk about Nigeria 774 local government? Do you know what
PDP has been in
why
existence?
not? That's what I have said before. I said so. I said, look, you are able to you don't have put yourself together. We have crisis. And you cannot wake up within 6 months to be president of the country.
Let me quickly ask you this question before we get sidetracked again.
Yes.
We can't have this conversation without talking about what's happening in Rivers State.
Yes,
And your chats the other day on Saturday, and your comments about Fubara and him being his own
Yes.
architect of his own problems.
Yes, yes.
You know, and even though your message it seemed was to say bygones, let's let bygones. The interpretation there seems very different. A lot of persons are saying this is just a confirmation that you are in charge of things happening in Rivers State. Would you like to clarify what you meant?
You don't like the truth. Tell yourself. I didn't say I'm happy. All I said, he wouldn't have been in that position if he did not, walk away from the group.
But you called him the biggest loser.
What did I say? So he wouldn't have been in that position. First of all, let me tell you why. I was the one who went for mission that look. I flagged up the ring road. And I said that day, if you complete this ring road, nobody will stop. That's a second time endorsement. How do you endorse somebody more than that?
So you wanted him to do a second term?
Not really. Not really. You have to build a system. It's from our political structure. What I don't like people talking every time they say, God for that, who talks about God? There's nowhere in this world, whether in the Republican, whether in the Democratic Party, you have groups. Trump had very good to make sure they take over the Republican Party. Every group will have his own leader. That will then make you a godfather. Every group will have his own leader to say that, look, we are pursuing this to take over the mantle of leadership. And when that happens, and you succeed, and then you say, look, don't delay. I came as governor. I had crisis. When I came as governor, there was nothing. There was not even pillowcase in the government house. But when I was in as governor, in fact, when I came, I had to borrow a vehicle from the former governor of Ondo, Minico, this parade vehicle. Nobody kept for anywhere. I didn't have one vehicle. But before I left as governor, I packed up from government house 1.5 years. I renovated government house. I bought vehicles both for the governor, both for the deputy governor, both for the wife of the governor. I did that. I did not say, hey, somebody has, nobody prepared me. But somebody had no foundation. Look, see where I stopped. If you continue this way, our dream is to be able to compete with Lagos. What is wrong with that? Now, I'm coming. And somebody comes, and that's why you have to be careful. Those who didn't want you to be governor now became your friends. Obviously, they will destroy you. Thinking that coming closer to you is to fight us. And at the end of the fight, I have not lost anything. What have I lost? Not what I'm making. What have I lost? No. But you have lost. Because your intention was to go for second term. Is it not correct? And you are not going. Those of us who love him. That's why we feel so bad.
So you love him?
Why, if I don't love him, why would I put him on? Why would I support him? That's the point I'm making. This is why I say, look, of all these things now, who have lost, ordinarily, you wouldn't have put yourself in this point. And let me tell you, there was a time we all thought, we all agree, so look, can we allow bygone to be bygone? But something fundamental came up in politics. We all met. They said, look, if I allow this now, there are those who are here who want to see that we are no longer politically relevant. What do we do? Two, there are external forces who want to hijack River State. Should we allow them to hijack River State? There are those who see River State as a cash cow. I can tell you so many things happened. There are people, even some senior advocates of Nigeria, who you never believe in this world, can play that kind of role, who are eventually living with us in government. Virtually living with us in government. When this thing happened, they were so bitter. This is a young man, we never believed, this boy is a betrayer. Do you know what happened? Overnight, somersaulted. Started giving the governor wrong advice. Don't worry, the law said this, the law didn't say this. They are sending them aircraft. Then they realized in the jet. So then they've achieved. So Flora Cooperative being there, they do the exact that kind of influence. We say no, this cash cow must end now. You won't have it again. Take as much as you can, but you have to stop. That's it. Ordinarily, we have sat down and we said, look.
Are you going to help him rebuild his political future? Because now he's not coming for his second term.
No, see, let me tell you, look, you see, I'm a realistic person. I'm a human being. I worked hard. Look, when I say I worked hard, I think people are saying, are you sure he's well? See the way he's looking. This, I worked hard. There was a time that EFCC came at the airport to arrest him. There was nothing that was not done to see that he never ran for that governorship election. We did everything humanly possible to say, no, we will not allow this. And so many people came back to say, listen, sir, yes, we are seeing the dominion, yes, it's like you have better be a man to let him go back, since the president back. No, sir, do you consider the political future of these young men? Do you consider? And you see, that's why I say you have to be realistic. And I have to go back. And I thought over it. I said, look, you see, be careful. Because those vampires are still there. The moment you make this mistake again and allow it, all those of you that have this structure is gone. The vampire will not eat you well. And if this is grave, as you are now, are you going to dig a grave? You can't dig a grave.
But the government is remorseful now because the last statement we did was even warning people around him not to set him up against you.
I don't know what you have done. He made that statement, even though he didn't speak to me, but no problem. We have started a committee led by Senator Manu Sadi to go and see the governor. It's okay. How do we integrate everything? But not only him. There are those two who...
Dissenting voices, yes.
So if you don't win it, you won't do that. Look at the powerful committee.
So we're going to find space for him within the road.
This question is unnecessary. I said here, that's not the Madrid's committee.
Yes.
And I got a text from Senator this morning. They have met the governor.
Okay.
And governor has given them date within the week, so time to come. So for us,
It's progress.
it is program that we are making for the interest of the state. Now you talk about the Rainbow Coalition. Let me tell you something. Before now, you were wearing rivers of blood. I'm sure you were happy. No. If you are not happy, you are supporting the Rainbow Coalition. Before now, you are the same now, this election coming. PDP, APC, you were fighting. These are the two major political parties. Don't forget any other one now. Forget. Everybody can say what they want to say, but not the time which is.
Who's the coalition picking as its candidates?
You don't worry, you will see what I'm saying. Now, people, let me tell you, people wanted to. There are some extra professionals, some governors. You see, in politics, you must keep your ear to the ground. In politics, you must also be smart. What happened? If we have concentrated only in PDP, we would have been having a battle with APC. And APC is the main party at the national level. Also the main party at the state level. So what do we do? Let's be part of it. Let's be part of it. Now, what we have is a situation where Labour Party, PDP, APC, AA, all together. We have governorship candidates of all this. We have state assemblies and national assembly of all this. And we tell ourselves the simple truth. Candidate B appears to have, that look appears to be brighter, more presentable. So we choose candidate B in social party. This is when you now know politicians who are on the ground. It is not an easy thing to do. In National Assembly, APC can win all. PDP can win all. But everybody still are good together. If APC wins in this side, PDP wins in this side, we are all together. For the interest of our state. If the leadership company are going to pick at the end of the day wins, he's not to be seen as APC, not to be seen as PDP. He's to be seen as a member of the coalition.
Well, he didn't become from his party. He will still be the head of his party.
Yes, it doesn't matter, but they are working for the interest of someone. We don't have that kind of violence any longer. Everybody is now integrated. All we have all agreed for one thing is that we are going to support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is taken. But we take care, we take it. It's got all inclusive. All inclusive. And it is working like wildfire. People now know that, look, everything is about leadership. Everything is about leadership. So when I hear people, or when I watch people talk on, I want, you say you are right. I was watching
Central.
no, I'm confused.
Yeah, it was you, my colleagues, right? That you work
One person that didn't coalition. You see, what you don't know in politics. I've been in this politics since 1999. I've never gone out. So nobody can teach me or tell me what you have to do, how to navigate it. What's important is the elements of your people. It's not about what you in our life is talking. What I'm interested, the interest of my people.
I just want to follow up with your thoughts because you're sounding like this strategizing after the tenure of this current APC, if they win the election in 2027, when they are done, then the PDP will come back and arise again. Will the APC allow that happen?
That is not to me. I'm not APC. What I'm trying to say. I'm not APC. That's why we don't the point I'm making is that the point for me, the relevance for me today is my people, is River State. If River State is relevant, I'm happy. Relevant, not relevant that we are following the River State. Relevant in terms of projects are coming. Relevant in terms of people are part of the government. That's my own interest. That's not, look, I was chairman in 1999. I was chairman again in 2004. When there was a break of this Ndayako panel, whether the government is to be or not. Related to that. I became the deputy national president of ALGO. I became the president of ALGO. Right? So I been in the system. I represent Africa, the Commonwealth of local government. I became chief of staff. I went to become Minister of State, the first permanent minister. The future governor that who wanted to pose the governor came back, fought the APC in 2019. Do you know what's called a federal might? Some people talk about federal might, they don't talk. They not see federal might. That's what I'm talking about. I saw federal might. No federal might with military. Look, if that time, I'm used to call it battalions. I've never seen a president use that to battalions. But the minister came with battalion as if there would be war in River State. And to the glory of God, we survived it. We fought back. What was going to happen to the 2027 election? And I've seen it, and I've said it in Rivers. I need to come out to say election has been rigged. That is not vote. I am telling you, let nobody make mistake. If anybody is counting rivers, go now and cancel it. The only person that can count rivers is Aswad-Bola Ahmed. I'm not talking because I'm talking as a political realist. I'm talking because my people know. You see, the point is what you should ask. Once you build confidence in people, once people trust you, people know that anything you tell them is likely to happen. And you don't get to government without carrying people along. Nobody can say to us, the minister of FCT, even the minister of FCT, that Rivers people don't feel the impact. No, certainly not.
Just about 25 minutes.
Yes.
To end the show, we need you to reconnect back with the people of the FCT. I'm sure some of you have been getting questions from contacts. Let me fire the first two because they are related. It will seem as if the problem in the River Park Estate is not over. We understand that the developer, Paul Lou or something like that, is back. Yeah, is back. Try to assert the rights that the people believe it doesn't have. I'm sure the minister set up a panel at some point. What are you doing to bring lasting solution on this issue of River Park Estate? And then the other side of it, still in that area, is Sabon Lugbe or something like that, where some demolitions took place some time back. And the people said they got their allocation from the area council. So, is there a problem between the area council allottees and the FCT? If so, how are the people whose properties were demolished? There are people who claim that as many as 200 houses were demolished in an estate. How are you going to resolve the matter? What do they need to do to regularize their ownership of
okay, let me take from the last one. You know, I've always said this, Nigerians if they would not like to say the truth, they do. No area council can allocate land to you. Supreme Court judge said it. All life in FCT belongs to FCT. But what we have done was that, okay, if they have done that, come and regularize it. So we want to issue you certificate of occupancy. Of course, they know. So advertise. You see, it takes us difficult. We don't like to follow rules. We don't like to follow rules. All you want is, okay, you can go ahead. We are forgiving you. Forgiving you what? Go and regularize and pay the necessary fee. Then we issue CFO. The land does not belong to you. You can't go and build on something you don't have. So that is the issue. So people should go and regularize. And it is there, the processes are there. You have been signing, if I am not signed on those area council land, I've signed about 5,000 or 6,000. I have, so people should go and do that. Okay. When you talk about River Park, you know, if you ask us, what's the problem with River Park? First of all, government has made a mistake. Our government continues to make mistake. People sit down and defraud the government that they serve. If you look at the memorandum of understanding, we don't have anything to do with Polo Homes. There's one company called Jonathan something. And Jonathan went and bought Polo Homes as their own partner. We are not aware. Even at that, they ought not to do it. They ought to seek our consent. So somehow they had problems. And that's their problem. Even the news are expired. So, and we looked at it, look, should we let the people have built up, developed them? People concerned will have gone, look, these are Nigerians, and they may have, you know, they are not involved, and you just apply the laws and people will suffer and all those kind of things. And we gave it a human face. We said, well, for now, let's send back, let's give them back their CFOs. They are Nigerians who are built whichever way, even though the CFOs ought not to see, when they were giving Polo Homes the CFO, and Polo Homes either renting to them or listen to them, that is not even proper. So there are a lot of things involved. But sometimes when we try to solve it, people outside will not understand. So, but what happened? In trying to resolve them, we told the two parties, we told the Ghanaians that, look, but what is our stake? You are only fighting amongst yourselves who has cheated this person, who has not cheated this person. Why are we involved? Why are we paying money to our lawyers? To do what? Now that the lease are expired, two of you should quit. We have taken back this part of the land. Because there is no agreement between us and Jonathan and Kusko. So this part of land remaining is now government land. There are one that have been built up. Let it go.
Minister, so one of the questions that
I've got
oh, okay.
So before we did it, the other party has gone to arbitration.
Okay.
It's okay. Until free from arbitration. That's where we are. Polo can't touch our own land.
Okay.
They cannot.
So people are asking what's happening with the Mbeya district infrastructure development, and they say the infrastructure development in Mbeya district has been abandoned for some years now.
So other cities have abandoned the British government came. So we are taking it bit by bit. You see, I'm happy. Why are people saying this? I'm happy that they are saying that things are going on very well. Cities were progressing infrastructure. So are we forgotten our own? Nobody will be forgotten. But we can't take all at the same time. Having now seen what we have done, obviously means that we will touch other areas. You can't believe that before the election, the number of projects will roll out. Dimension is general estimate.
So more commissionings before the
Of
election.
course, it's natural in us. It's natural in us.
Just one more district that's been long forgotten. I'm sure that should be on the plan because a lot of infrastructural development has gone in. I'm talking of Kaduna 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And recently we heard that the contract has been revived.
I know that you are interested. The patient. Just want to run me. If I make a big money, I said, you are going to do a Kaduna. But now they found you. You said, Mr. Minister, you brought your last charge. You said, hold on. We are coming. If you see the prayer warrior, because I'm not to faster. But let me pay their taxes. It's not just do this thing that we pay our taxes.
So, Honorable Minister, you've spoken quite well in the past about the security situation in Abuja, and that a lot has been done about that. But there are still reports of pockets of insecurity in Abuja. What are you doing about that? And then some people are sending complaints about cows, cattle grazing, even near the airport and all that. What are you doing about it?
I will talk about cows, that's national security. I would tell NSA, tell GGSS, all of them to sit down and know how they would do about I've said it severally.
Yeah.
I've said it severally. You know. Let's leave it there. See, it's not as if we don't have the capacity to have to be very, very careful. You are talking about, you is the pockets of insecurity. Where in this world?
Including one chance.
Where in this world? You say everywhere is safe. Where? Israel, look at the place. America, look at the place. Even fires are insecurity now. France, in Spain. You see, they give us that kudo. But whether you like it or not, we have been able to take head on the issue of the insecurity. I went to Kukwama. No, I went to Kukwama one day. What I saw. So I called Security Council meeting. I said, come and follow me, I'm going to show you security. He said, what do you mean? I said, no. I think I'm finding security. They come, let me and show you insecurity. They don't understand what I said. I said, look, I will show you security so you fight it. When you got there, look, they couldn't believe it. They said, look, if this thing explodes here, it is a place where criminals will hit and will go there and hide. You know. You will not know because how will you know? All kinds of the shot is over 2,000. My God. Inside the city. I said, no. When they saw it, they told me, sir, this will be a bit, we cannot allow this. I said, do you know what has happened? People have started writing. People, how do you survive? What as they say? It's not society that way. We're talking about fighting security. You're not really issue of poor people. That's what we see in this kind of country. You are the one complaining. And we are seeing no security. And we are saying no. We are suffering poor people. So they say they go to court. I said, no problem. God cannot stop me from fighting insecurity. You can imagine what happens. Sometimes you're looking for people who are kidnappers. They have no address. You don't know where they are. You can't even locate them. Part of security consignment, you see some buildings 20 years ago, uncompleted. They go there and take a refuge. You'll be looking for them. Security will be looking for them. So when we had security council meeting, the report came as, look, part of the problem we have seen is the uncompleted buildings where they take refuge. Now, what did we do? It's okay. We were announced that go and clean up the rural area. Else will bring it down. We can't allow it. It's not possible. There's no amount of grammar you speak. We're talking about saving of life and property. And you cannot, because you say, oh, all your life saving, you put in for criminals to take over. No, we won't allow that. All right. Quickly, sir.
Concerning hospital land scarcity in Abuja, because this will interest you. Hospital land scarcity in Abuja. That companies or people, particularly investors who are desirous of investing in hospitals, they don't get it. And they say the reason is this. Many people have been allocated hospital lands through their phantom hospitals for decades. Now what they do is that they don't have existing hospitals and they are not ready to build. These allotees are hawking the lands for billions of naira to those who have the means to establish these hospitals.
You see, that's one thing.
Is there a way of...
Excuse me. Who says where hospital land will be?
I think in the master plan that...
Yes, the master plan is done by who?
By the hospital.
By government.
Yes.
So when people sit down and say, oh, this is hospital land, I think it was not conceiving that it was so. Do you know what government had decided not to use that place as hospital? And have provided, you see, you say you want to, but they don't have land. And giving that place even as hospital land, does it mean that as an investor, you move back to the place and start building because you're an investor? Is that correct? Nobody wants to allocate to you where you will put your investment. Nobody will say where you will be invested as this and this and that. Nobody will say, no, we are thinking of this place, but we have changed our position. We will be trying to do it in the other side. Investors, you want to invest, come to this area. The areas that are marked before as, what do you call it, better grounds. The people have moved it out. So now it's no longer necessary in this place. We do it in social area. People sit in their houses, decide what government will be able to decide. About long silence is let me tell you the truth. What I see in my office, it is not people just come. How many people who ask for land in this Abuja that don't go and sell it?
Land speculators.
You see, if 2,000 that apply for land, 1,900. That's again, it's a system. I have to correct. You're going to fight, and you ask yourself, you must fight to do everything. But you just don't be focused. There are things you should be focused so that they don't distract you.
But there's a time you work.
Quickly, sir.
I think we'll pull our question.
Yes, over 370 kilometers of roads have been completed, ongoing in satellite towns. Out of the 221 have been completed. You know, but all of these roads have also come with some kind of menace. We're beginning to see car racing on the roads, constituting risk to other motorists. Sometimes car drifting and even people driving against traffic. Second question on this same one is that the infrastructure development in Abuja, you're getting a lot of praise from landlords, but it's also coming at a cost. Rents are going up. Would there be some kind of legislation introduced by your administration to help regulate?
There's no done by the National Assembly.
But you can push a bill in.
But let me tell you.
The first question, sir.
Can I answer?
Go ahead.
My problem is that as you do one problem will come up. But let me just tell you. Let me tell you. I was hoping we pull our questions together. But I forget. Car racing. One good thing today is at least there's road. Before there was no road for you to have car racing. So that tells you government is working. But should we allow it? Car racing is allowed where is no residence. You don't do car racing residential areas, you know the security implication. It's very dangerous. And that is what we are working on now to stop. If there are cars in highways and the rest, you can't stop it. It's part of the beauty. It's not only here that you have car, but the good thing again is that those who love it, who have no provision, good roads, motorable roads, long roads, you know, that which you don't have before, who this administration have been able to provide. So we are going to stop that, right? That we are setting up committee to make sure, time for to make sure that we don't allow that. Then you talk about the what's called
Rising rents.
Yes. Assuming real estate is not coming, assuming development is not coming, what would have happened to house rent? How did it crash? It will skyrocket because there are no houses. But the more you have houses, it will come to a point that it will reduce. That is the truth of the matter. No, it does. Let me tell you why you think so. Why you think so? Because there are not infrastructure to the satellite towns where people will go and live. When you don't provide infrastructure, the day that people want to concentrate in the city. For what we are doing now, by opening up all the areas, go and see development will be moving. And that will crash the rent in the city.
Will there be a timeline?
Why do you want everything one day?
Because it's a lot. Because it's a lot, I don't minister.
Another thing, that's also how advert rates go up. Nobody has talked about that. Nobody has talked about how you sit down and increase the advert. We're talking about it, but it affects the common man.
Okay, let's look at this indiscriminate rock blasting in the FCT. Is causing a lot.
I don't know what you call indiscriminate. You see, you have to talk with facts.
Can I give you one or two facts?
There's no record blasting. Anyone that does not approve that, let us know.
Okay.
You don't just come. I mean,
So all the blastings in FCT, you've approved.
What I'm trying to say, first of all, by the time I did one was working, we know exactly. I remember a senator called me. So that his house is shaking. I said, well, because of the house, now the road will not be done. It's a rocky place. And the workers will blasted for the road to pass. That is public use. And when you that built, do you understand me? Sometimes we don't take into cognizance about tomorrow's development. Because the development has been come as a time started building. Not beginning that means we pass that the master applied. So all we did was to call the company and the senator as we said, we have to find a solution. And the company agreed to do in such a way that it will not affect the
structural.
But it will be difficult for me to stop that kind of construction where everybody will benefit simply because you as an individual is affected. One person cannot override public interest. It's not possible.
Let me just quickly chip in. Well, something that I just forgot, but the one that is consistent is the report I saw that almost 400 civil servants were promoted after like a long time. 4,000, I think, not 400, were promoted after a long time.
Yeah, how long is that?
I think, I don't know the specific number of years.
You should have found that.
But what they're asking for is the arrears.
Going with it. It's a good thing. And the plan, from what I read, is that this will continue. So the question I'm going to ask is, what are further plans for civil servants going forward?
For that place now.
The promotion arrears, that's the issue has been the promotion arrears that hasn't been paid in full. So while they are commending the fact that this 4,000 promotions, promotion areas haven't been done.
People who are not grateful in life. And they cannot be this. It's not, let me tell you something. These are the things I don't like. You're in a system where there was no promotion at all. You're in a system where you have no future. Now the government has come, has changed that. But say, look, you must get the promotions. You must get a future. You must get to the peak of your career. You don't even want your servant to turn the government. We have done this. Before now, I was talking about secretary university. You only aim as a director and go. Only government has said something they can be. They must get to the peak of their career. Not only must they get to the peak of, you must somebody must get to the head of service. It was not there before. There was no civil service commission of the LCT before. I'm coming. You are saying that we are not free paying. But are they paying? We had a transfer, we take 6 months.
Okay.
Then 3 months we pay. And I think it's very about to see, these are things people should be able to appreciate. Is the government paying? Yes. Have you been paying? No. Will we free to pay? Yes. And that's how government is. That's how government is. It's not a question of everything should be done. Instead of them to say, in fact, what they should do every day is to wake up before they eat. Pray. God, give this government the wisdom. We want to continue doing what we want as we are doing.
That's the question we're asking you. It's not a complaint, I think.
No, there is a complaint. There is a complaint. Yes. So what they're saying is to make continuously, when once you start the promotion, when once it's available, you will be promoted. Let me tell you, people think that, you see, you can't know because if there are no vacancy of directors, you verify me, you promote and you go to director. It's not done. It's not like in teaching profession. If there are no vacancy, you can't. I mean, it will come.
I mean, Minister, you described yourself as someone who, you described yourself as someone who prefers results over rhetoric. And the presidential election is in just a few months' time. Why do you think Nigerians should trust your principle?
Oh my God. That is See, for me, well, I don't like rhetorics. When something starts getting bad, it gets a situation that is worse. And when it gets worse, it gets time for you to cure, for you to heal, for the problem to be solved. You know, we are forgotten. When we are criticizing previous government, when they are done wanting to live for government, what happened? What led to why people say they will not vote? What happened? People gave excuses. When what was the Buhari came, people were saying, where are we heading to? Products have been compounded. Now somebody has come. When that's why the situation that when to start doing bad, worse, to the worst situation. And you come to that worst situation, people expect you that the problem, the problem that taken over 15 years should be solved within 1 year. But people don't ask themselves questions. Take for example, we are all crying of oil subsidy. I don't know fuel subsidy. We are all crying here. States were doing it. I was a governor. I was bidding down for bank managers, even if not assistant manager. So then they will see me, they will take their bank door and go away. The governor will be looking for. Why? The fuel subsidy was a cankerworm. Over 3 trillion for a month would go. Now, somebody came who has had it, even though he was not in government or experiencing. But you know it's correct. And he said, listen, it has to stop now. and it stopped now. Money has been made available. Some nationals now come in, nobody now owes pensioners. Nobody goes to the bank again to pay money to pay salaries. Money now is made for infrastructure. Now, for me, when the government tells me I will do this, no decision can be 100% right. But what makes leadership is the ability for you to take a decision. After we are here, so many presidents said, this force of you is scam, this, that. But nobody had that, to me, nobody had that authority, the political will, to say, if this is bad, let us stop it. Giving credit there. More money has come. Two, to put an economy together which is a short term economy that is bastardized. It's not where you do that to say God Almighty, this man who is God, heal him now. No, it takes time, but it will be a happen. I prefer a candidate that I know what he says is what we do. I can tell you, can I compare to you? I can tell you. I know Peter very well. I know him very well. You see, what I don't like is going to the gallery. What I don't used to, what I don't do, or what I've not done, I won't do simply because I want to be in power. I was a governor. And I've never attended Bible parties in the IDP camps. I've never. I was a governor. I've never gone to do my birthday with the motherless Ramos. Simply because you want to be a president, every of your birthday, you go to IDP camp. You go to motherless people, and people say, oh, this is the type of people we want. No, what I'm trying to say. And you are carrying the room with that kind of sentiment. I know you very well. You have what is best said. The man is supposed to give him testimonial. Say it's too bad, it's too bad, it's too bad.
That's a testimonial.
I'm not, your boss. Say, you're not supposed to. Don't imagine because don't you are your boss says it. What kind of testimonial do you want? So this is a man, this is a president. Yes, I want that everything. No, it's not possible. You take 3 years, okay, you can see the difference. Yes, it's hurting. There's no one here. So it's not about people who go there. You know, what I watch you will do. Trials, arrest, I don't know people who you call. And you need to ask them about Nigeria. I laugh. I tell them, who is this man? Alright. What do you know about Nigeria? I see somebody talking about politics, everybody talking about people. This is a man who ran provincial and diaspora from a book. Zero. It's a man that even will call to comment politically. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Actually, is everything we have now. We have used. I'll tell you the other African to talk more about it. It's also but today we are on top of the hour, so we have to go. Thank you so much for having me. Just now, I just want to hear that problem. Thank you so much. I'm going to have the party that please. Thank you so much for your time. And of course, and Christian, thank you so much. Kela, thank you for your time too. Again, I will see you again. Thank you very much. That's the end of today's edition of Ministerial Chat featuring the Honorable Minister of the FCT. Thank you for investing your time with us. We'll see you again next month. My name is Benga Arunera.